Democrats don't care what you do as long as it's mandatory, right? And now that it's mandatory if you want to teach, then you've got to sign this document saying if the teacher tells you that the boy is a girl or the administrator and you keep it a secret from the parents, then you have to bow to the at the altar of the Democratic Party.
I need to caution you. You have used the word mandate twice, and that is, that's a very gender-based.
Good point.
Word.
That's true.
The second thing is, they're so wacky. This is where it turns in on itself. What is the number one electoral dynamic that's interesting about Minnesota? A lot of Arabs, a lot of Muslims. Guess what? He wouldn't allow them to teach either. So, if they actually do their full crazy in the policy, they actually can't keep their coalition together. And let me bring up one other thing. It's not just teaching in the classroom. Do you realize that if you're in the healthcare profession in the state of Minnesota and other states like it, if you're Catholic or Christian or Muslim or believing Orthodox Jew, you have to participate in the abortion industry with their laws which allow abortion for all 9 months and after abortion. You know how that one goes. As the governor of Virginia says, you keep the baby comfortable till you decide what you're going to do with it. You can't even say that I have to be, for my reasons of religious conscience, that I want to not participate in this. You can't do that in the state of Minnesota. Unconstitutional. Wake up, Supreme Court. This is how a country falls apart when you be able to do
Well, you also couldn't do it in the military when it comes to vaccines, religious conscience, and so on. And you notice they like to leave out Muslims and Jews, but they're in there.
And that's why, actually, I think that's probably how this law got passed is, okay, it's easy for the left to want to punish Christians or Catholics. Those aren't exactly in vogue. But the implication of this law is that it doesn't matter what your religious belief is, right? That's why the First Amendment does not specify a specific religion that is being protected by the Constitution of the United States of America. It seems like this is very on its face unconstitutional, right? I mean, you look at Maryland, one of the liberal hellhole counties there, it's religious discrimination. The lawsuit there is being spearheaded by Muslim immigrants, mostly from Africa, it seems like heading to the Supreme Court because once you're discriminating against Catholics, that it will ultimately be used to discriminate against everyone, which is why it's wrong to begin with.
You're an educator and a father of children, and here's a state mandate that may violate religious principles and beliefs.
Well, I think the primary thing is you are allowed to believe what you believe, but you can't force your beliefs on other families. So if that child, and I understand if it's something with the parents, but if the parents say, call my child different than what they were assigned at birth, I don't think that you have the right to impose your religious beliefs on that child.
Well, but that's what the schools are doing. That's what families.
But don't worry, you can impose the LGBTQ agenda, transgender agenda on the administrators and the teachers, and this is actually impacting some Christian universities as well, who have been forced to follow these types of cultural competency type of rules, which again, I think it's such a violation of freedom of religion, and they're facing these horrible consequences.
I was looking at Gallup polling data today, and in 2012, 3.5% of Americans identified as LGBTQ. Today, Gen Z, 19.7% identify as LGBTQ. I think they're teaching to the test. Coming up, Kamala's push to use football to draw Americans in has some leftists throwing a flag.